वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादीनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। सर्वतन्त्रस्वतन्त्राय सदात्माद्वैतवेदिने श्रीमते शङ्करार्याय वेदान्त गुरवे नमः। योऽवतीर्ण इहाचार्य रूपेण यतीनामुदे श्रीमन्नारायणं वन्दे तं हरिं करुणानिधिं। मननाख्यं प्रकरणं वासुदेवयतीश्वरैः रचितं विस्तरेणाद्य सङ्ग्रहेण प्रकाश्यते। बालानाम् उपकाराय मम विज्ञानसिद्धये तत्र श्रीपादगोपाल कृष्णः सन्निहितो भवेत्। ॐ the various complexes, delusions that we carry, and at the bottom of every complex that we have, you will discover that everything boils down to mean that I am a limited entity, limited in time, limited in space, limited by every standard parameter that can be applied, and I am karta and bhokta, a doer and an experiencer. So, by the virtue that I am a doer, I do certain things, and as an experience, I am experiencing joys and sorrows. Not only that, but then you also, with the aid of Shastra, now this is on assuming that I am karta bhokta, limited entity. Okay. Now, this is accepted as a transactional reality. This becomes your transactional reality, because of which transactions are also possible. Now, Shastra also gives an affirmation to it, not because Shastra says that you are a jiva, but because you have accepted, and that accepted reality is given a nod. Okay, now let us go ahead. Like, when children are playing, and then the little girl comes to father. Father, I have made tea for you. And she brings that small little plastic cup and saucer. And, oh, now you must be tired. Drink this tea. And what tea? Nothing, empty. Then the father has to pretend to drink the tea. And then she will ask, oh, are you feeling better now? You had a headache. You take tea. You're feeling good. Only daughters will do this, okay? If there are sons, they won't do it. So, so So the father said, wonderful tea. Mm. Your mother also cannot be like this. In fact, she never does this. Because the mother has assumed there will be headache only if there is head. So I read one poster, okay, this filmy poster on this road, this stick. Sar kate ka atank. Sar kata means headless fellows. Havoc, havoc, horror, terror of this headless ghost. Now what? So now he has to pretend I'm drinking tea and all that. And then, oh, well, that does not mean that the father realizes that there was tea in the cup. It is, it is what? To give that child, yes, you can go ahead in life, make things like this, something like that. So Shastra also says, yeah, you are a karta and bhokta, but there is a relationship between your kartritvam and bhoktritvam. And that relationship is that you don't see. That is only revealed to you by Shastra. Okay. And that relationship is that as a result of your own actions, right and wrong, you enjoy or suffer. Okay. If left to your buddhi, you will decipher it as I suffer because of him and I enjoy because of her. That's it. You see this. Uh, what are you going to say? You are going to attribute your enjoyment or your suffering to the world. And therefore, if I am suffering, you are responsible for my suffering. And since you make me suffer, I am entitled to punish you. And this psychology is the mother of terrorism. Otherwise, why would a terrorist want to suffer, make the people suffer? Because he sees that somebody is not accepting his God, and that's why he is empowered, he is entitled to punish them, as if he has been given the charge to do so. And therefore, at, there is this erroneous, what do they call? An erroneous authority that is assumed. I have this moral authority to punish people, to bring them to right path. And if they don't, then I have the full right to eliminate them because they don't have the right to live then after. Uh, you have to see this. In Goa, I lived there for 2, 3 months. The place where I lived, there was one bus stand, and it was called Hat Kapo Kham. So those people in the Goan Inquisition time, the Christian Inquisition time, those who refused to accept Christianity, those Brahmin men and women were tied to that pole and their hands were chopped off. So eventually, some of them will die. Why? Because we have the right, and if you don't, this is the consequence. And because it is empowered and given to you, that moral authority is given to you by religion, I don't even have the conscience now to see the suffering. But why am I doing this? It is because I see that I have an anger against you. So this psychology is the mother of all terrorism. You see. But here the Shastra says you cannot put this tag on somebody else. You will have to assume the responsibility of all your sufferings and enjoyment and take it on your shoulder and then make right choices and right decisions. So even if you're suffering now, at least your future, be it immediate future or be it remote future, which we may call as next life, will all be improved Paralok sudharna hai. This is how we say. This is a phrase. Yeah? Parlok sudharna hai. सिधारना है नहीं. हाँ सुधारना है. मैं तो परलोक सिधारना है क्या. दिवंगत आत्मा परलोक सिधार गए. दैट इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग. लेकिन व्हाट इज इट. सुधारना है. Which means that you have to, that responsibility. Now you are not angry at somebody because they are suffering or anything. Now that allows you to see that there is an element of papa and punya. So that is there. But when this all becomes applicable in assuming that the meaning of this I is karta bhokta limited entity. Now, every complex that we have is resting on this assumption that I is parichinnam, parichinnaha. This aham is parichinnaha. Parichinna means limited. Okay. The moment you start defining yourself with speciality, already you have claimed parichinnata, and every parichinnata is dukkham. Every parichinnata is dukkham. The moment you say, what, Swami, I am smart now and I am intelligent and I am Pandita, whether Swamiji or somebody else. Now, the person who thus has a claim, he is afraid that not somebody else should not outwit me. So that bhayam follows immediately. Any kind of parichinnata is nothing but bhayam is bhayam. And bhayam is dukkham only because you want to get rid of it. Dukkham means that what you want to eliminate is dukkham. Then it may be anything. And so that parichinnata is dukkham. So every complex and everything is resting on this idea that I am parichinna. But now, he who now thus is able to see this fact, he demands that then what is the way out? Then it is said, only in knowing that the meaning of this I is aparichinna brahmavastu. That what is anantam. Parichinnam means santam, antena sahitam. Santam means what? Not shantam. Santam, antena sahitam. Those people who do have got difficulty because of their language and native thing, that sakar and shakar is not differentiated. So Shankar becomes Sankar. Santam. It is Santam. Santam means Antena Sahitam. Okay. All right. So Santa. But what is this nature of this I? Anantam. And to reveal that this is Anantam, now the Shruti goes to say, this is Satchidananda. What is it? Satchidananda. So now the question the point where we came till yesterday was, Kathamiti Ched, how does the Shruti Upadishati, Jivan Prati Upadishati, Kathamiti Ched, He Jivaha, this is a little dramatization. He Jivaha, Yuyam Satchidananda Rupaha Eva. Iti. Now, in order to say that you are Satchidananda, iti bodhanartham, in order for them to know, Atma Satrupaha, na Anritarupaha, Chidrupaha, na Jadarupaha, Anandarupaha, na Dukkharupaha, iti tat bhranti nivrityartham bodhayati iti jati. Why? Because what was the question? Why does Shruti again and again have to say that? Because there are these bhrantis. At least you are able to see three bhrantis. That aham anrita rupa. This is what I'm a person, man, woman, deham, pranam, apindriyam, nipishalam, buddhim, cha shunyam, viduhu. Stri balang jadopamastu hamiti bhranta vrishamvadinaha. No matter how how well this all this is philosophized, any film, then that in that philosophy, oh, you are the what do they call, the servants of God. And so servants of God, banda means what? A slave. You are a slave. This fellow feels that, wow, this seems to be a nice thing. Huh? But all this is what? Ultimately nothing but bhranta vrishamvadina. No matter how glorified that bhranti is. You are the husband. Then he says, I am the husband of Trailokya Sundari. Not why just only this Vishwa Sundari, Trailokya Sundari only. And okay, you may be anybody, but after all, you still remain what? Limited or not. So even if that definition is so glorified, and even if that definition is philosophized, and so many people follow him, this is so these all these people also. And then he says that I'm Ganesha's avatar. Then somebody claims I am the Dattatreya's avatar. After all, what? Bhranta Vishamvarinaha. Then Dattatreya avatar will say, hey, why are you Dattatreya's avatar? Why not Parshuram? Dattatreya. So that means this that definition has already limited itself or not. And by that definition, you may call whatever you want to call yourself, but not knowing and recognizing that this Atma is Brahman, after all, is what? Glorified Bhranti. Is what? Glorified Bhranti. Deham pranamapindriyaanyapishalaam buddhim chishkunyam viduhu Stri balang jadopamastu भ्रांता भृशंवादिनः माया शक्ति विलास कल्पितमः व्यामोह संहारिणे अस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. All right. So since we have innumerable bhrantis, and every bhranti means a complex, and it is just what is that every, though they're innumerable, but at the bottom of every bhranti, what is the basic bhranti? Aham, aham jivaha, aham parichitta. And therefore, in order to remove that, bodhanartham, a bhranti, how can bhranti be removed? By you dancing, bhranti will go away. By you shouting, bhranti will go away. By you singing, Bhranti will go away. By you sleeping, Bhranti will go away. By what? And then you cry, oh God, and then Bhranti will go away. What? How? And that's why Bodhanartham. That's why Shri Krishna Bhagavan says, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. You know, Pavi means the thunderbolt of Indra. That thunderbolt of Indra is so powerful that once upon a time, and now, I want to finish this and then I'm now telling you stories. So, these mountains used to have wings and they were flying all over the earth. Okay? And they would sit wherever they want. So, people were afraid now this fellow is coming now. They can't even run. And even if they run, that mountain, घेरा तो इतना बड़ा है, उसके बाहर तो नहीं, gone, crushed. That's how we find fossils. And so, so these mountains were flying everywhere. So people prayed, "Hey, please keep this." Indra said, "Okay, I will do something." And he took his thunderbolt and he chopped their wings off, all of them now sitting. Sahyadri, Vindhyachal, all of them, they're sitting down quietly. Why? Because Indra's thunderbolt, which means that thunderbolt, that Pavi, is extremely powerful. Now, Dukkham also, when falls on you, it chops your wings off, isn't it? When it comes, you're what? Like Arjuna, when he's overcome by the dukkha of seeing that, how that these people, the people whom I love, are going to die. Now that dukkham disables him, becomes handicapped, and therefore he says, Gandivam samsate stha tvachaiva paridahiyate. And Arjuna has never, that Gandiva was never insulted. But now today this thing has happened, that Gandiva, that, Arjuna's bow is slipping out of the hand. Samsrate, brashyate, is falling, slipping out of the hand. I'm not able to keep a grip on it. How come? Hmm? Because the dukkha has overpowered. So now this is what dukkha cripples a person. Dukkha cripples the person, correct? But jnanam is that pavehe trayate iti pavitraha, that which is able to protect even from the attack of pavi, is called as pavi. What is that? Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitram iha vidyate. There is nothing in this world like this knowledge that can protect you. Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitram iha vidyate. And it is true. Why? Because every dukkha is nothing but out of an error. An error can be removed only by knowledge. You seeing the snake is only an error, isn't it? Is only an error. Now you go over there and start dancing. Will the snake go away? You shout. Will the snake go away? You take a danda and then start beating the ground. Will the snake go away? Then you start praying. Hey Nardevata, come on, Nag Panchami. Will that snake go away with all your devotion? No. And then you tell that, okay, then I'll close my eyes and sit in samadhi. The snake will go away. The snake won't go away. The moment you open your eyes after in samadhi, there is no snake. When you open it, the fellow is sitting again. Oh, you still here. It can go away only when the knowledge takes place that there is a rope. There is no other way. And therefore, Sachidananda Rupaha Evaiti Bodhanartham Atma Sadrupaha na Anartharupaha Chitrupaha na Chadarupaha Ananda Rupaha na Dukkha Rupaha iti Tadbhranti Nipratyartham ko Bodhayati iti Jani. Shruti hi Atmanaha Sachidananda Rupena Bhedam na Bodhayati. Are bhai, when Shruti is saying Atma is Sachidananda, even that Gandha of Bheda is also, is that whiff of Bheda is also not there. Nabodhayati, Bhedam Nabodhayati. In fact, the whole thing is told to you to remove the Bheda. Yet, Loke Kechanavadanaha. Yet there are some Brahaspatis. What they do is this, that they say Kechanavadanaha, Atmanaha Sattvam Dharmaha. What is the Dharma? Sattva. Sat is Dharma. In that Sat existence, what is that? Chitvam and Sukham cha Gunao. That Sattvam and The Chit and Anandam, these are two gunas. Vaisheshikas, this is how they see. They call Jnanam and Anandam Sukham as the gunas. Okay. Guna. Ataha Atma Sachidananda Rupaha na bhavati iti kathayanti. And therefore Atma cannot be called as Sachidananda Rupaha. Because you can call him Sadrupaha, but Chidrupaha, Anandarupaha, you cannot say. Because Chidrupaha and Anandarupa, Ananda and Jnanam, Chid is what? Gunas iti kathayanti. And therefore, because there are these people, these Brahaspatis who are there, that's why Tannivaranartham, and in order to remove even this kind of a claim, Shruti Atma Satchidananda Rupaha iti vadati. This is what is said by the Shruti. How does Shruti say that? The Taittiriya Shruti says yesterday what? How? Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma Vijnanam Anandam Brahma Sadeva Somnidamagrasid Ekameva Dvitiyam. These are the Shrutis. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Okay. Well, all the three are spelled together. Sometimes three, sometimes two. And even if one is meant, it still will go over there. And therefore, this idea of these people that are Sattva is the Dharma and Ananda and Jnanam, Chid is, Gunas is rejected. In order to remove this, there it is said Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Anantam means Anandam. Okay? Arthataha, Shabdataha, Anantam is a different Shabda from Ananda. But Anantam itself, Arthataha will mean Anandam. It will go over there. Okay? How? That's a different story. Iti Atma Sachidananda Rupaha iti vadati iti avagantavyam. This is what is to be avagat kar lo, samajh lo, understand. Bhavadbhihi shrutehe tatparyamevam iti katham shyatamiti chet. Now there is actually a different topic that needs to be treated over here. But the only thing is that he is only giving you an indication, sanketa matra, only an indication. That, sir, how did you understand this is the tatparyam of Shruti? How? How did you arrive? What has allowed you to? Otherwise, it could be your own some brain wave. Right? It could be your fancy. But how do you really know that this is what is the tatparyam of Shruti? Intention of the Shruti. So it is said, Bhavadbihi Shrutehe Tatparyam Evamiti Katham Shyatamiti Chet Sarvasamapi Shrutinam Upakramopasamharade Shadvitaringaihi Akhandarthe Tatparyasya Avadharanat Iti Mantavyam. Now there are ways of understanding the intention of the speaker. Okay, what exactly he wants to say. For example, in on a Laukik, this on a on a daily basis, you know, then you make laddu and give it to someone, and then you ask, "कैसा बना है?" बहुत अच्छा बना है. Now, he has already replied to you by making those faces. He has already said disapproved, but now he cannot say it in words. So, you have, because politeness, शराफत होनी चाहिए. He says, अच्छा है, अच्छा है. Then he drinks water. He may not even make faces. But immediately after taking one bite, अच्छा बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा है, हाँ बहुत अच्छा है. Bring me some water. You understand what was it, isn't it? So there are ways of understanding what is the Tatparyam. Similarly, because this is a Shabda, it has its own, there is a way of understanding the Tatparyam. Got it? Yeah, you see this? There is a way. And what are those? So they say there are six indications. How many? Six indications. And they are, so an indication in Sanskrit is called as a linga. Linam artham gamayati iti lingaha. लिंग शब्द का अर्थ क्या है? लीनम अर्थम गमयति. जो अर्थ लीन है, छिपा हुआ है, उस तक पहुंचाने वाला जो होता है उसको कहते हैं लिंग. हाँ? तो लीनम अर्थम षड्विध लिंग. So there are six types of indications. There are
6.
six indications. So षड्विधलिङ्गैः अखण्डार्थे तात्पर्यस्य अवधारणा. This is what it is. So what are those six types of lingas, etc.? How do they? How are you able to reach that conclusion? Tatparyam, etc. Is what is another topic. But he has simply made a point that he has made a reference to it because this is a beginner's book that you deal over there. Shadavithalingai. How is it Tatparyam? How do you arrive at Tatparyam, at a conclusive understanding? Through the six indications. And so, Shadavithalingai Akhandarthe Tatparyasya Avadharana Viti Mantavyam. He Swamin, एवं श्रुत्या एव अखंडार्थ साधितः इतः परम युक्त्यापि कृपया साधनीयः इति चेत् शृणु. O Lord, hey Swami, abhi tak till now evam. So now what we have seen, shrutya, through the shruti, akhandartha sadhitaha. That was accomplished. Akhandartha, that atma is akhanda, and how even the vakyam is able to show that akhandartha. Both these topics we have seen, and with the aid of Shruti. Shrutya api. Now, what does he want? Yuktya api kripaya sadhniyaha iti chet. So also you show it through yukti. But over here, this yukti is not an independent pramanam. How is it? Shruti anugami. It is Shruti anugami. And therefore, this yukti or the anumanam inference becomes a secondary pramana. What is the primary pramana? Shruti eva. Param itaf param yuktapi kripaya sadhaniya. Compassionately, kindly show us that. Shrunu, listen. Sat swayameva prakashate va anyena va prakashate. So he is going to take you through a line of logical conclusion. Sat, that existence, swayameva prakashate, is self-effulgent, means it is self-evident. Swayam prakashate, athava anyena va prakashate, is illumined by something else. Yeah? Now over here, let us consider two things. You are there and a pot is there. Pot means pot. Gada, no other pot. No Lakshman Jula pot. Then this pot is known to you, or does the pot makes itself evident? So unless and until you illuminate, it does not become known. Correct? Then, in case of yourself, you know yourself, or somebody else is required to tell you that you are. So now there are two types of knowing. One is where the object is illumined by somebody else, and the other knowing is where it doesn't require any other agent to illumine, and I know myself. Okay, others may tell you whether you're good or bad, but I am. This knowledge is not nobody's gift to you. Ahamasmi is self-evident, self-illuminous. So also the Satvastu, is it self-illuminous or does it require another agent to illuminate? Is the to know. Okay. So there, Sat Swayameva Prakashateva Anyenava Prakashate. Why are we at this discussion? Yuktyapi Akhandartha Siddhyartham. What is it that you want to accomplish over here? Akhandartha, but how? Through logic, through reasoning over here. So Sat Swayameva Prakashate va Anyenava Prakashate. So now two options are created. Swayam Prakasha or Paraprakash. Prakashya. Huh? You understand? Do you see the two options or not? One is not Swayam Prakashya bhi nahi hai. Swayam Prakash. So we have to carefully choose the words. Swayam Prakasha and Paraprakashya. Two options. Out of these two options, Adye, the first option, Sadeva Chit Syat, if it is Swayam Prakasha, then the Chit and Sat is one and the same. Anyena Chit, if there is something else that illumines, which means something else will be the Chit thing that illumines it. So Anyena Chit, Satah Prakashakam, Tad Anyat Vastu Sad Vilakshanam Va, Sadanantaram Va. Now that which is the Prakashaka of Sat. In the second option, there is a we are going to ask you a question. That which illumines the Sat, like over here, you are illumining the path, correct? Like that, whatever that Sat, your existence is, if it is illumined by something else, is that is that Sat or is that Asat? Because Sad Vilakshanam va Sadanantaram. Okay. Sad Vilakshanam means Asat. And Sadantaram means some other kind of Sat. Okay. Sad Vilakshanatve, if you are going to say it is something other than Sat, other than existence, then what is it? Asadeva, non-existence. How can that what is non-existing illumine something else? And therefore, Sadvilakshanatve tasya shashavishanadivat asatvena tasya sadprakashakatvam na sambhavati. So now in the first option, sadeva chit. In the second option, if it is something other than sat, is it vilakshanam or is it saranantaram? Okay. ठीक है अंबिका हाँ Sundaram. Okay. Then what happened? Now, in the second option, that which was the first is wiped out. Why? Because it will attain the status of Vandyaputra. Vandyaputra किसको जानेगा, किसको प्रकाशित करेगा, वो बताओ. Non-existent. You understand? Non-existent. Huh? Okay. Non-existent. Then
Not will.
Okay. Okay. Anyena prakashate iti pakshe. Now let us say that there is
Satvilakshanattve tasya.
Iti vikalpa. Where are we?
Satvilakshanattve tasya.
Salanantaram iti pakshe. In the salanantara paksha, tad salanantaram swayam prakashate va anyena prakashate va. Now that which is sat. Now another type of sat, which is illumining your first sat. About that we have a question. That sat, is it illumined by sat or sad vilakshanam? Again, you will land into the same problem. You see, you thought that you're finding a way out, but you are at the square one. Because what is the question now? That sat, which is illumining the sat, that sat, is it illumined by sat or sad vilakshanam? So what? Again, the same question. You see? And therefore, then you say that some other sat. Now then you again the same question. And therefore, this will be an endless regress infinitum. You will reach nowhere, and therefore reaching nowhere, inconclusiveness is a dosha in the Darshan Shastra. Okay, so iti anyena prakashate iti pakshe punarapi vikalpaha purvavad ayati. Now that vikalpa will once again come, and then evam vikalpe kriyamane. If you are going to just land in this kind of a discussion, evam vikalpe kriyamane atmashraya dosha. What will be the first dosha? Atma. Whatever English inside. But then atmashraya dosha. You keep them in mind. We will deal with it some other day. Atmashraya dosha, or on some other occasion if we continue. So Atmashraya dosha, Anyonyashraya dosha. Look at that. Being first is dependent on second, the second is dependent on another. Anyonyashraya dosha. Anyonyashraya dosha means chicken and egg. And then Anyonyashraya dosha, Chakraka apatti, Chakrika apatti. And then same things will keep on going around, making rounds. Circle. And you are caught up in that. Chakrika apatti. That is a dosha. Anavastha dosha. Regress infinitum. Anavastha dosha. Iti bahavo doshaha apateran. Thus, many such defects will arrive. Apateran. Tasmat sat swayameva prakashate. And therefore, now what is there? Logically going also? Sat swayameva prakashate. And this is what was said. Sat is swayam prakasha, which means sat is chit. Sat is chit. And therefore, sat and chit are not two different. They're one vastu only. Sataha swayam prakashatve sadeva chit chideva sat ubhayam api ekameva. How we are using two different words. They may not be with synonyms. Yet
they are one and the same.
There is what? Akhandar. One. There is no division. Like Lohitoshta Prakasha Deepaha. Like what?
Lohitoshta Prakasha Deepaha.
Okay.
Correct. Lohitoshta Prakasha.
Saranantaramastiti Vedeshu na kutrapi drishyate. But remember one thing, that there is some other sat is not shown by the Shruti Pramana. Sadeva Somya idamagramasit ekameva advitiyam. Shruti could have been happy, just had satisfied, should have been satisfied by saying ekam, but not there. Ekam eva
advitiyam.
And evakara, what is that?
Only one.
Evakara means that the possibility of any other thing is eliminated. Evakara. Okay? Itar Vyavartakatva. Itar Vyavartakatvam is there in what? Evakar. Only you. In your office, your boss calls and you're with your partner or something. Only you come. That means what? The other fellow is not allowed. Yeah? You get an invitation to some function. President of India is there. And they have a very strict protocol. Okay? Now, 24 hours before, you have to give your Aadhaar card and all that things is there. President. And so you say, hey, president is coming. I will bring my mother, my wife and mother-in-law and father-in-law also, brother-in-law also. Then invitation is only you. Only you means what? No mother-in-law, father-in-law. Shala sambandhinas tatha. हिंदी वाला जो साला है ना, that is संस्कृत में श्याला. श्या श्या शकार यकार. श्याला संबंधिनस तथा. Okay, so and therefore ekameva dvitiyam, Shruti said. Eva, ekam eva. How is that, sir? Ekam eva. And then nanyaha. And so there is nothing else other than that. Where is the question of any other sat or anything? No. Iti ataha sadeva chiditi siddham. Thus, by that, what goes to prove that? What have you proven? Sadeva chid. Tasya swayam prakashamanasya sataha anandatvam karmiti chet. Or it may be swayam prakash sat. Why swayam prakasha? Because sat is what? Swayam prakasha. Why swayam prakasha? Because sat is chid. Are bhai. Yeah. अतः तस्य स्वयं प्रकाशमानस्य सतः आनंदत्वं कथमिति चेत् how do you then say that this is ananda also? So uchyate satah advaitatvad anandatvam. Where is your experience of joy? As much as the lines of difference go on becoming blur, are eliminated, then your happiness, that is the experience of happiness. Isn't it? So, even when you're discussing and when you enjoy the discussion is only when your differences start disappearing. There we are. We are on the same. Right. So where the differences have gone, that is Sukham or not. Isn't it? So there where there is no difference is what is Anandam. And therefore Advaitam is Anandam. So we are using the word Advaitam, Anandam, but it means what? Anandam, Anandatvam, Anandaha, Paripurnaha eva tishtati. And that Ananda means that what is limitless. Anything that comes with the sense of limitation is nothing but bhayam and dukkha. Okay? So now you have a job, and then that job is on a probation. It means that you got some little joy, but along with that there is insecurity. We don't know. So that which is there with limitation is going to be dukkham only in different. It is old wine in new bottle. That's it. And therefore that dukkham continues. But for a moment you feel that it is changed. So there is this what Anandam is Paripurna, that what is Paripurnam, Anantam is Anand. नाल पे पूर्णत्व, कहाँ अल्प जो होगा उसमें पूर्णत्व कहाँ होगा, है ना? नाल पे पूर्णत्व, पूर्णत्वं च सतः द्वैतस्य एव न द्वैतस्य, and therefore katham saradvaitam iti chet, then now you have just said that anandam is advaitam, then now you have a responsibility to show that this sat is advaitam. Then only, because there is one more step in between for you to prove that sat is, Satchid is Anandam. Katham Sadadvaitam iti chet. He putra, listen son, so the Shishya over here. Sataha sadvitiyatvam sadantarena va sadvilakshana va vada. Now you tell, you answer. Then in case of Sat, I'm up. In case of Sat, what happens? If you are going to say that the Sat is Dvitiya, there is Dvitiyatvam in Sat. Sadvitiyatvam is because of what? Because the Sat, there is another type of Sat, or because there is Sat, something that is not Sat. So Dvitiyatvam will be possible only in these two cases, that there is some other type of Sat, or there has to be that what is other than Sat. That what is other than Sat will become Asat, and that what is other, some other Sat, not Vilakshanam, Sadanantaram. Then again you will go back to the same Anavastha dosha, etc. Okay? Nadyaha sadantarasya shastrena adya sadanantaram. Sadanantaram, if you are going to say sadanantaram, then first of all, even before you go jump over there and want to prove something, first, is there a pramanam to say that there is sadanantaram? And then if there is pramanam, then that has to be Shruti pramanam. So is there anything? Sadantarasya shastrena yuktya anubhavena cha siddhatvat. Na dvitiyaha. In case of dvitiya sadvilakshanatvam, sadvilakshanasya shashavishanadivat swarupa bhavena tena sadvitiyatvasya vaktum ashakyatvat. Got it? Because it is like, it will be like shashavishan. You remember the word shashavishan, the horn of a rabbit. Shasha means khargosh, and Vishanam means horn. Shasha Vishanava. Swarupa Bhavena, by nature it is not there, doesn't exist. That which does not exist, how can it create duality? That you can say one and two. Even for you to make a count of two, that thing should be present or not. Tena sadvitiyasya vaktum ashakyatvat. Asmat vikalpadvayad anyo vikalpo nasti. And remember, other than these two vikalpas, there is no third vikalpa possible. Ya to, if you want to prove, you'll have to prove there is sadanantaram, or you'll have to prove something that is sadvilakshanam. In order to say that there is sadvitiyatvam, in order to prove that sat is not advitiya, that sat is not advitiya, what will you have to do? क्या क्या मूंग डालने पड़ेंगे? या तो ये दिखाओ कि सत विलक्षणत्व है, कुछ सत विलक्षण है, अथवा सद अनंतर है, दूसरा प्रकार का कोई सत है। तीसरा विकल्प यहां खड़ा ही नहीं हो सकता. There is no possibility of any third option left here. Got it, Bhaskar? And therefore vikalpo nasti, and both these vikalpas we have shown they are invalid. Both these vikalpas are invalid, and therefore ataha ekasya sataha dvitiya bhavat advaitatvam siddham. Okay, how have we gone? Not by shruti, we are taking it through the lane of yukti, through reasoning. Since there is no sat dvitiya, therefore sat is advitiya. This is it, because there is no option left, and therefore sat is advitiyam. Advitiyam means advaitam. Advaitatvam siddham. Tena purnatvam siddham. Tena purnatvam siddham. And tena swaprakasha sad eva anandaha iti siddham. Now that anandatvasya siddhi has taken few steps. Anandatvasya siddhi has taken few steps over there. And if you miss any step, then you will not come to this conclusion easily. Through reasoning. So, yuktya api siddham. Shrutya siddham, yuktya api siddham. Now, evam yuktya api sachidananda padana akhandarthatvam janihi. Yuktya api jani. Atha anubhavena akhandarthatvam sadhyate. Now, what are we going to see is even by your own experience too. Now, it is your already you have that experience exists with you. So in Vedanta, we are not making a promise that you will experience something. I know what you are experiencing is that alone, and simply we are going to draw your attention to that fact. So it is not a promise. So moksha is not a promise over here. Is a fact. This is how you are. That you are Brahman is not what we are. You will become Brahman nahi. You will experience Brahman ye bhi nahi. You will meet Brahman ye bhi nahi. You will merge in Brahman is also not there. What is it? You are Tattvamasi, Asi. You are that. You see, you are that. And so you already have that experience. And therefore, though you have the experience, but you don't know. And so the problem is not of not experiencing, the problem is the problem of not knowing. The problem is the problem of ignorance. लेकिन यहाँ पे तो लोग चिल्ला रहे हैं एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए. So therefore that's why sampradaya, that if there's no tradition behind it, I say swayambhu, rootless. Atha anubhavena akhandartham sadhyate. Now we will prove that through anubhava. How? Akhandarthatvam ekadasha varnakepi uktam. Now this, though in the 11th chapter, in the previous chapter, it was said, yet it will be tathapi punaruchyate. Why, sir? Then why are you doing it punarukti? Punarukti means a repetition, repeat telecast. Punaruchyate for what? Daradhyartham. For what? For to bring firmness to your understanding. Because sometimes you feel you have understood, but then, later on you realize, kya ho gaya? And daradhyartham shrunu. And then, therefore, listen. Okay? So daradhyartham. So this is it. 6 o'clock. I withhold Shankar ji को थोड़ा सा रिक्वेस्ट किया है, 2 मिनट रुकिएगा. So now whatever we have done till now is there with you. Now, whenever we meet next, I will let you know when it is possible. So all of you, please, it will be nice if you people can on the day if we can match our timings, and you can spare your hour or so to meet to in order to complete the text. It will be wonderful. All right. So let's see when to meet next. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Sam Sada Shivastu. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam
पूर्णमिदं
Purnat
पूर्णात्
Purnamudachyate
पूर्णमुदच्यते
Purnasya
पूर्णस्य
Purnamadaya
पूर्णमादाय
Purnameva
पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ
Om
शान्ति
Shanti
शान्ति
Shanti
शान्ति
Shanti
शान्ति
Shankaram
शङ्करं
Shankaracharya
शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायण सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तं पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेदि मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुरुभ्यो
Namaha
नमः
Parvati Pataye Hara Hara
हर हर
Mahadev.
महादेव
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
हरि ओम प्रणाम स्वामी जी।